How's it going, guys? It's ShadyRiku and welcome back to my Gummi Ship Guide series. In this episode we'll be looking at the missions for Agrabah. If you like this series, please consider subscribing. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers and the rest of the series should be finishing up shortly, so if you subscribe you'll not miss any of the episodes in this series. So we're starting off with mission 1 and I am taking the route between the Olympus Coliseum to Agrabah. Now the first mission is to obtain a score of 330. It's another one of these obtain a score missions. If you've been following the Gummi Ship series by now, you'll know that it usually starts with one of these missions and the score can be found in the top right hand corner of the screen. Just make sure here that if you're taking the same route as me that you enter this orange portal and that'll keep you on the route to Agrabah. If you are planning your route, remember that if you're looking the mission for that particular world, you need to finish in that world. So before you even take off and start any of these missions, make sure that you plan your route out so you know which direction you're taking. Yeah, so how to obtain a score? You obtain a score by collecting an item, destroying an enemy ship, or destroying an obstacle. So if you destroy an enemy or an obstacle, you'll see that they do drop items, so that will count as a double score. So as you can see, I didn't use the basic Gummi Ship with this, but this mission is very easy, so you shouldn't really have too much trouble. I just built a ship here that's kind of medium build, few weapons, and you really shouldn't have too much trouble getting the items here. These obtain a score missions are always very easy, and if you have weapons which can fire special attacks by holding the triangle, just make sure that you destroy the asteroids here, and then you collect those little star pieces, and that will restore your magic and your health as well. And then you can see sometimes I'm using the brakes, which can slow me down, and that can also help with obtaining a score. But once you've attained a score of 330 or higher, all you need to do is arrive at Agrabah, and you will obtain the Wheel Gummi. So mission 2 is to set off from Wonderland with only Comet-G as a weapon, and destroy 130 or more enemy ships. Now, for this mission it's not too hard. All you need to do is build a Gummi ship with the maximum number of Comet-Gs. When it says with only Comet-G, it means only that as a weapon. It doesn't actually mean you can only set off with one. So just attach 8 Comet-Gs to your ship. Make it fairly big so it's got a good amount of health. Oh, and by the way, if you don't know where to collect Comet-Gs, I will leave the link to them in the description, so make sure you check that out. Just so you can collect the maximum number of Comet-Gs and equip them to your ship in case you're having any trouble. You'll see soon that we will use the brakes in this mission to slow the ship down, and then we can destroy 130 or more enemies. So from Wonderland, we want to head towards that blue portal. And if we rotate the map, we can actually see that when we enter the portal and we come out on the other end, we need to turn right, but I will show you that shortly. So as you can see here, when we start off, we're using the brakes just to make sure that we get all the enemies we can. You can see the enemies, the little heartless icon. That will be the number of enemies that you destroy, so just get that to 130 or more. And then as you see here, make sure that you enter the blue portal to the right. Again, use the brakes if you need to by holding square. And Comet-Gs work by, I believe it's triangle. Yeah, it's triangle here. You can see the power meter going down. That means that you need to use triangle to activate the weapons. And then if there are any asteroids in any routes, remember that you can collect the little star icons to recover both your power and your health, which in this case is your armor. So any of these floating ships are considered enemies. You see, I've already hit the number at this stage, so it's not too difficult. Make sure here you can see that there's 2 directions, left or right. This is why I told you about rotating the map sometimes. You'll know that when you get out of the portal, there'll be different directions sometimes. So in our case, it was to turn right, and that'll take us towards Agrabah. If we turned left, that would have taken us to Halloween Town. So just make sure you know what direction you're heading. And as you can see, no problem at all. 8 Comet-Gs, easy. Almost died, but it wasn't too bad. But anyway, once you arrive at Agrabah, you will be rewarded with a horn gummi. So on to the third and final mission of Agrabah. You can see there's a 4-star difficulty mission, and this is to collect 130 or more gummy blocks, but the use of Drain-G and Osmose-G are prohibited. But the key's actually in the name. It says the bigger the better, so that's actually a key there to just basically build as big a gummy ship as you can. And you can see here I'm spacing out some of my weapons. The gummy blocks don't actually have to connect in order for you to make a fully working ship. So you can put some random gummies around the ship and they will actually pick up items that are seemingly out of reach, but yeah. You can actually collect them if you've got a gummy block in the vicinity. And then as you can see here I'm adding all the blocks, make it high in health, and a lot of weapons are also being equipped because we need to collect gummy blocks, and some of the only ways to collect the gummy blocks are to destroy obstacles. So having a big ship, lots of weapons, and yeah, making it nice and wide so I can collect a lot of gummies which are seemingly out of reach. And then I'm equipping a couple of wings here just for the control. So that should do us. Let's save that gummy and then let's go on to the mission. I started out from, I believe, yep, Halloween Town, so I went from Halloween Town to Agrabah. You can literally choose any route, this is just the one I chose. I found it had a lot of obstacles and enemies, so this is where I chose. As you can see, already abusing the brake by holding square. And you can see the total gummy blocks that we collect by the little crystal icon. So as you can see, I'm using my weapons, holding triangle, and some basic weapons firing, but also using my power. Some weapons are used by hitting triangle. It's a good mix of weapons, so you can use both basic shots and your power meter. Have some weapons that don't require the power meter just in case you start to run out. You still want to be able to destroy obstacles, enemies, and then abuse the brakes here, as you can see again, to collect the items that they drop. Honestly, I don't think this warrants a 4-star difficulty. I think this is actually one of the easier missions. You'll be thankful because the next episode is actually Atlantica, and I've already been getting some comments asking about making the Atlantica guide because it's probably got the hardest mission of all. So this will be the calm before the storm, these Agrabah missions, so enjoy it while you can. As you can see, I'm already at 113. I don't think this was too difficult. There's no requirement to set off from any particular route, so you can basically choose whatever route you want. Even the Wonderland route that we shown in Mission 2 could possibly be just as good, but I went for this route anyway. You can see there's tons and tons of enemies and obstacles, so this is the route I chose. If you want to follow along with me, just choose that route. And again, as the more advanced and further you are in the story, as you can see, the more blocks, the better the blocks you'll have, the better the gummies, the more impressive you can build your ship. So most of the time if you're having any trouble with any missions, you can basically come back at a later stage when you're further in the game. Make sure you avoid that blue portal, that'll take you in a different direction. We're just continuing on the straight and narrow between Halloween Town and Agrabah. So yeah, we've already reached it, we're at 150, so at this stage we can just continue to fly straight. We don't need to use the brakes anymore. All we need to do is arrive at Agrabah, and we will receive the reward of the Tonberry Blueprint. And that is it. That is the Agrabah missions complete. Not too hard, honestly one of the easiest worlds that we will cover. And as I said, next time will be the Atlantica Gummi missions, which I know a lot of you will need some help with that, but if you, for whatever reason, have any trouble with these missions, make sure to comment down below. I will always reply and answer any questions. And as I said, if you do enjoy the series, please consider subscribing, because the rest of the series will be coming out very shortly. But I've been ShadyRiku. I hope this guide has helped you, and I will see you all on the next one. Take care.